So when I started at Jordan beginning in 1976, my first job, my first efforts at even approaching winemaking, I just graduated University of California at Davis, and their approach to sensory evaluation was very different, I think, than what I learned through André Tchelistcheff. As when you go through this 4-year college program at Davis, you're taught not necessarily what's best about wine, not the artistic aspects, not those things that when you're sitting at a restaurant and swirling and sniffing and getting the pleasures of a wine. What you're taught at Davis is to look at things that are wrong about wines. You're getting sensitive in terms of the defects that might come across. So there was a time when Andre showed up to consult, and he sees me, and he sees I'm kind of stressed out, and I'm worried, and I'm maybe not as conversant as I normally am, and he calls me doctor, and that's another story in itself. But he goes, "Well, doctor, you seem upset. Something's bothering you." And I said, "Well, Andre, we're going to be bottling our Chardonnay tomorrow, and I just want to make sure that everything is just perfect." And he said, "Well, how's it taste?" And I said, "Well, I'd like to have you taste it with me." And so I poured him a sample from the tank that we were going to bottle up the next day. And he says, "Yeah, I want you to describe it." And so I come with this very sterile approach. And he goes, "Well, Andre, I've got this nice lemon quality coming out of it, this green apple characteristic, but I'm getting this a nice blend of tartaric, but a little bit of malic finishing in the side, and then in the nose I get quite a bit of diacetyl that's coming across that is kind of coating the palate along with the phenolic compounds coming from the oak. It's kind of I think it's coming across quite well, but the pH of this wine really is holding this wine together, and I think it finishes off really nicely." And he looks at me and he's shaking his head, and I said, "My God, he doesn't like the wine." He goes, "No, your description." I said, "What's wrong with my description?" "Who wants to drink that?" And I said, "Well, how would you describe it?" And he swirls it and looks at me now and he goes, "Rob, this smells like the breast of a young woman in winter, wrapped in fur." I went, "Oh my God, that description's so much more sensual, so much more fun, that you can enjoy." I mean, I thought, God, how could you not like a wine like that? And so for Andre to really captivate the true essence of what's speaking in the wine, it has nothing to do with the pH, nothing to do with the diacetyl. It has everything to do with what the senses are responding to. And I think about that, and I just said, "Andre," I love the 4 years of college I had at Davis, and I learned so much, but from that point on, I dropped all those descriptors that I learned at Davis and started learning much more from Andre.